So you're somebody who works really, really hard. You got a very successful career, maybe a business, maybe you're an executive, maybe you're a real estate agent, maybe you're a doctor, maybe you're a lawyer, maybe you're a student, maybe you're in graduate school. Whatever it is, super ambitious, you got lofty goals, you got so much to do, but you still want to be shredded. Well, guess what? I'm here to tell you that there is a way. I'm Neal. I'm the founder and CEO of Quantum Mind, as well as Genesis Nootropics, and I've helped over 500 people get the physique of their dreams, and I really only work with high achievers. Now, something that people say to me oftentimes is they say, look, Neal, I feel like I just don't have enough time to do the things that are required, right? And the psychographic of people that I work with, it doesn't come from a place of excuse, but it really comes from a place of okay, wait a second, what can I do to get here? I know my time is limited, so what can I do to get here, right? And so I'm here to give you the answer to that. And so first of all, before we continue, I want to say it is possible to get a great physique, even if you're super busy, even if you're working a lot of hours, right? So my bankers who are working 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week, it might be pushing it, but if you're somebody who works 60, 70 hours a week, it's still possible. Okay. And so what I want to do is I want to tell you exactly what you need to focus on to get there. And that brings me to my first point. Focus on exactly what you need to get there. And that's it, right? So time efficiency is key, meaning that, when you're scheduling your day, when you're trying to optimize your productivity, you want to make sure that one, you time block properly, meaning that you put things in your schedule in blocks of time so that you can maximize efficiency, right? So what I mean, for example, is that when you work out, you have your workout time. You do it every single day consistently. When you work, you have your work time. You do that every single day consistently. And by having a time blocked schedule where you know what you're going to do when, it eliminates the guesswork, it eliminates the chaos. And when your life is systematic outside of your fitness, your life in your fitness will be systematic, okay? Another thing about time efficiency is really you want to make sure that when you're at the gym, you're super focused, okay? You don't need to work out for more than 75 minutes, okay? And that's going to include your cardio. If your goal is body composition, your rest time really doesn't need to be that high. You can go through your sets relatively quickly. Make sure that you're really contracting your muscles when you actually train. Make sure that you're focused on your workout when you're there. And that's the only thing that's on your mind, okay? And that brings me really to the next point of focus, is that before you get to the gym, okay, especially if you're somebody who's busy, but in general, if you want to optimize your workout, set the intention of the energy you want to bring into the gym, before you actually go in. That way, you don't have residual energy. And what I mean is, when you go into the gym, the only thing you want to be focused on is the workout. You don't want to be thinking about work. You don't want to be thinking about law school. You don't want to be thinking about, what your significant other said to you. You don't want to be thinking about any of that. So what you need to do is you need to set the intention before you get into the gym. Now I know when you're super busy and you're very dynamic and you're on the phone, you're on a sales call, you're on a business call, and you're driving over to the gym, it's very easy to just shut the phone off, say, fuck, that person pissed me off, and just walk into the gym. But shut the phone off, take a second, breathe, and ask yourself, what energy do I want to bring into this workout? How do I want to operate when I get to the gym? How do I want my workout to go? When you take that 2-minute period and you actually do that, set the intention, generate the energy that you actually want to bring into your workout's going to be a lot more efficient, a lot more productive, okay? And so really, to recap when it comes to your workout, 1, make sure you're really focusing on contracting your muscles. And 2, set the intention before you actually get into the gym so you don't bring residual energy in. Other things in terms of time efficiency is try and do your meal prep at the same time every week. Goes back to time blocking, what I was saying before, but more specifically with meal prep, okay? So go food shopping, say on a Sunday, and maybe right after that, you'll do half your meal prep for the week. And then on Wednesday, you'll do the other half the meal prep for the week, right? But ultimately, what you want to always be thinking from a higher level is you want to be thinking in a more systematic way when it comes to your fitness. So tip number 1, time efficiency is key, okay? Number 2, focus on resistance training over cardio, okay? Now you're going to need some cardio, But for long-term metabolic change, building muscle is the most effective way. Once again, the most effective way to speed up your metabolism is to build lean muscle tissue. Now, what's the implication of a sped up metabolism? Fat that not only comes off, but stays off, right? As you build more lean tissue, something called your basal metabolic rate, your BMR, goes up. Your BMR, basal metabolic rate, is the number of calories you burn per day while at rest. It's basically like your metabolic fire. So imagine person A has a raging inferno and person B has a tiny, tiny, barely flickering flame. Person A's metabolism or metabolic fire or basal metabolic rate is going to be a lot higher than person B. So if you want to get the most bang for your buck and you want to go for the highest leverage opportunity when it comes to getting ripped, go for the weight training over the cardio. Now, if you're going to do cardio, which I do suggest, you do a moderate amount of cardio, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and body composition is your main goal, which is what we're talking about, do your cardio only in a state where your glycogen is depleted. What I mean by that is this, is that when you do cardio to burn calories, you want to make sure that your body is burning fat. Do this when you have no carbohydrates in your system. So that's going to be either fasted when you first wake up, or it's going to be post-resistance training when your muscles have actually uptaken the glucose, right? So that's the next thing, okay? After that, when it comes to really getting shredded, when you're limited with time, you really want to make sure that you streamline as much as possible, okay? So streamline your breakfast, okay? Meaning have the same thing every day for breakfast, right? So if you want some variety, depending on what nutritional protocol you're following, that's fine, but streamline as much as you can. So streamline maybe your breakfast and lunch, and then maybe you can have some variance in your dinner, right? Streamline, or maybe give yourself 2 choices for breakfast, 2 choices for lunch, and then you can, have more variety for dinner. Figure out a system that works for you, but always think about streamlining, okay? Another tip is make sure that you're counting your macros, okay? This will give you some flexibility, but at the end of the day, you want a metrics-driven process for you so that you have predictability. When you have predictability, it's easier to stay motivated, right? When you don't have predictability, it's very hard to stay motivated because you don't know what you're going to get out of your efforts, right? And so counting macros, using a more macronutrient-based dieting approach to getting ripped is certainly going to be a way to keep you incentivized because there's predictability inherently in the macronutrient way of dieting, okay? So I hope these tips help. The point is that if you are working long hours, you certainly can get ripped. Make sure you're systemizing, make sure you're time blocking, make sure you're counting macros, focusing on weight training, making sure that you're doing your cardio at times when you're glycogen depleted, okay? And then putting it together in a way that works for you consistently over time with patience. If anyone needs help on any of this, please do not be afraid to hit me up, schedule some time with either myself or one of my coaches, and we're going to take care of you. All right? Take care. Hope that helped. Peace.